Veda, and I am back with another episode of Our Mother Earth. So, I'm starting the series Know My Plants, as I told in the previous video, the introduction video. So, today's very special plant is Jasmine. Okay, so I am very sure you would have seen one Jasmine somewhere in your life. So, Jasmine is very common. A lot of people grow jasmine, but a lot of people who don't have a jasmine plant at their home, like how I didn't, they just love jasmines, but I think some people just don't know how to take care of a jasmine. Today I'm going to show you general things of how it's very easy to grow jasmine. So, if you're a beginner in gardening, if you're very new to gardening and you just want that one plant, flowering plant, then I'd say go for jasmine, because it's very easy to care for. Once the jasmine plant gets acclimatized to your space, it's very easy to care for. For this plant, sunlight is very important. This plant likes tropical conditions like India, and inside India, Maharashtra, very hot places. And now where I am, Karnataka, it's slowly getting cold, but it's still flowering because there's still sunlight. So sunlight, if you are in a place where you have 3 to 4 hours of sunlight, then this will do really well. Less than 3 hours of sunlight, this one won't grow. So you can keep it in a place like this pot. It's getting direct sunlight even during monsoon, especially during monsoons and winters. All the sunlight that is there, this plant will be getting. And one more thing on jasmine is that it doesn't really do well in winters, but during summers it flowers a lot. You see how many flowers it was there? We plucked them. So this one was there, and this one's the new one. And there's another one here. So as you see, next to every jasmine flower, there's another bud. I call this very good growth. And one more thing is that you can grow it in ground, but you are in a balcony. If you are in a balcony like me, then this pot is 8 into 10 inches pot, and I think it will do well in such a pot. But if you want to go for a bigger one, then go for it. I'll suggest go for it. If you have bigger pots, like if you have a terracotta pot like this one, then I'm sure you can grow it in terracotta or any plastic or different materials, any material, unless it has to be at least this size. Otherwise the plant may die, because there won't be any space for roots. Another thing I'd suggest is that you should make a couple of aeration holes at the end of the pot, so that there's space for the roots to breathe, because otherwise there won't be any space for the roots to breathe and the roots will rot and die. And another thing a lot of people may be asking in the comments now is, if it doesn't flower in winter and doesn't grow in winter, how you take care of it in winter? I'd suggest water it whenever the soil goes dry and prune it regularly. Maybe once in a week you can prune it like this. Just cut it at the branch, and you can get a branch like this. And now what is going to happen to this branch is that now this plant will invest in side growth, like what has happened here. You see, I cut it there, and now it's invested in side growth, which means it will be bushier. But if you do not want it to be bushy like how I am keeping my plant here, then if you give it support, so this one, unlike some flowering plants, if you give it the right support, it will grow vines. So like this long stem, if I give it some support, suppose I give a stick here, then it will climb over that stick and it will become like a vine creeper. I'm actually thinking about making it a vine, but I don't know where I'll get space over here. Another thing is that I'm now talking about just balconies, right? So suppose you have an independent house or you have a garden anyway, other than a balcony, and you have ground space, then this one will grow really well. Actually, now I think the flowering period is about to come down. It's about to go away because monsoon is starting. It's really windy, and that's why I think it will stop flowering in a few months. But I think that's okay. It's worth the wait till next summer, don't you think? And another thing is that the flowers are really fragrant. I wish you could smell through screen. Another thing that a lot of people struggle with is nutrients. So where do you get the nutrients from if you're in a balcony like mine and you have a pot? So for fertilizer, if you have ground, then I'd say give your fertilizer once in 2 months or 3 months. It'll be fine because it's in ground and nutrients is more. It has unlimited space. But if you're in a pot like me, not if you're in a pot, you can never be in a pot. If you have just pots like me, then I'd say you should you can give fertilizer once in a month. If you have a big pot, then I'd say you can give it once in a month. But if you have a small pot, I don't say you should go for a small pot. But if you don't have a big pot and it's locked down, then I'd say you can put it around once in 2 weeks. This plant, it will really do well. And what fertilizer is, you can use Seaweed Solution. I'll put a link to where I got my Seaweed Solution from in the description below. And the most important thing that you can't miss in any of these is compost. You can make your own homemade compost, or you can make buy the compost. Either one of these is fine. I'd say making your own compost is very environmental friendly because you're reducing the amount of waste that goes into the garbage dump. So making compost is really environmentally friendly. So if you want to do that, go for it. And if you don't know how to make your own homemade compost, I will be releasing a video on that during the series sometime. So if you want to check that out, please do. Another thing is that your soil that you're putting your jasmine in has to be well draining. Otherwise, again, like I said, the roots will rot because the plant will be standing in stagnated water. Another thing, I haven't tried this, but I've read a lot, is that you can buy perlite. Perlite's like glass, but doesn't have those sharp ends. So to make your soil well draining, you can also add perlite. But I'm not sure you'll get that in all shops. That's all for today. I hope that helps you know how to take care of your jasmine. If you have any questions about any more things about jasmine, please put it in the comment section below. And I'll see you with another episode of Know My Plants. Goodbye.